Hello viewers, this is Dr. Sumit Bakshi. Welcome to third video of SPSS. In our first video, we learned how to enter variables in SPSS and how to set its properties. In second video, I taught you how to import data in SPSS from Excel and then how to code that data in SPSS. Today's video is about frequencies in SPSS. So let's start. In last video, we imported data, but we can directly enter our data in SPSS too. Let's enter some fictitious data in SPSS. For this, first we need to set variables. So I will take same research problem and same variables as I took in last videos. Here research problem is to study the effect of collaborative teaching on achievement of students in mathematics. For this, we will take 20 participants. So first variable is serial number, which we will enter in the variable view in first row. Serial number means number of students, number of participants. Second variable is gender. We'll enter gender in next row. Gender is measured independent variable and it is also called dichotomous variable. The variable which has two values, as gender has two values, males and females, that variable is called dichotomous variable. Our third variable is group, which we will enter in third row. We have two types of group: control group and experimental group. Control group is to which I have taught through traditional method, and experimental group to which I have taught through collaborative teaching. So I will put 10 students in control group and 10 students in experimental group. Similarly, group here is also called dichotomous variable because group has two values here in the data, that is control group and experimental group. Fourth one is scores, which is marks of students in mathematics. Now we will set its properties in variable view and enter the data in data view. So let's set its properties. In column type, it is numeric. All the variables are numeric only, so we will not change anything. Width is okay. Decimal, in serial number there will be 0 decimal. Again for gender there will be 0 decimal. For group also there will be 0 decimal. And I'll assume the student will get the marks as whole number. So here also will be 0 decimal. Next, values. For serial number it is okay. For scores it is okay. But for gender and group, we need to give values to gender and group because we have already two values for gender, males and females. We need to assign some number to males and females, as I mentioned in my last videos. For this, we'll go to column values and click here, and we will add a value to male and other value to female. Suppose 1 for female. I can give any value to male or any value to female here and add. Then again 2 for male, add, and then OK. Now we have assigned values. Next, for the group, we need to do the same thing. Click here. Number 1 for control group, add, and number 2 for experimental group, and then add. Okay. So this is done. Now we'll set its scales of measurement. For serial number it is okay. We can keep it as such. We will not use it as a variable. For gender, gender is always in nominal scale. Group here is also in nominal scale because it has two values and both are mutually exclusive. Either the student will be in control group or the student will be in experimental group. Scores are measured in scale, rather in ratio scale I can say, because it has a true zero. So in SPSS it will take as scale. Serial number only. For this we will write gender again. For this we will write group, and for scores we will elaborate it, we will explain it. Scores means marks of students in mathematics. Now we will go to data view to enter our data. So we have taken 20 participants. In serial number, I'll go to number 20. So serial number I have set till 20. Now I need to enter my data. First I'll set group variable. I'll assume first 10 students are of control group and next 10 students are of experimental group. For control group I have given number 1, so I'll keep 1 here, enter 1 here till number 10. And for next 10 students I'll give number 2. Now in control group there will be some males and females, and again similarly in experimental group there will be some males and females. So I'll randomly assign numbers, and first 10 students I'll assign 1 and 2 randomly. Similarly, for the next 10 students, those are in experimental group, I'll assign randomly as 1, 2. Otherwise, you will have your complete data in your hand. But here we are creating a fictitious data, so I can just give any number to any student. Next is scores. I'll assume the total marks of the test is 50. So out of 50, the student will get the score. I'll just enter any random number to any student. These marks are out of 50. So we are done with data entering. We have entered our data. After you enter data, you can see, you can toggle between numbers and value labels from here. If you click here, you will see the value labels, and again if you click, you will see the numbers. So you can easily check your data in case you have any confusion. When we have huge data, it can create some confusion sometimes. So we can check our data from here. Also, when you toggle from here, when there are numbers, you need to add numbers if you want to add more data here. But if we'll click here to value labels, now you need to double click here to enter more data. We can also sort this data in increasing or decreasing order to make it easier. As marks of students, I can sort it in ascending or descending order. So I'll click to the column scores. I'll right click here and sort ascending or descending. I can choose any option, sort ascending or descending, but I'll not do it here because I've set my data like that. First 10 students are of control group and next 10 students are of experimental group, but I can do as per my choice. So we can toggle our data, we can sort our data. Now we are ready to analyze this data. Basic thing you need to calculate is count. For example, how many males and females in data, or how many students are there in control group and experimental group in our sample. For this we need frequencies. It is really easy in SPSS, even for huge data. For this you need to go to Analyze menu from here. This is used for any analysis in SPSS. If you want to do any analysis in SPSS, you need to go to Analyze menu. You can see different options here for different analysis. These are the options. Now for frequencies, we need to go to Descriptive Statistics and then Frequencies. After clicking the frequencies, you will see this window. In the left dialog box, you will see all the variables which you have in your data set. And we can move these variables in the right dialog box which we want to analyze. Like I want to analyze all these variables. So I just enter the variable, then click this arrow and all the variables move to right dialog box. Again, if I want to remove some variable from right dialog box, I again click the variable and then this arrow towards left side. The variable will again come back in the left dialog box. Click the variable and click the arrow. It's as simple. We can click OK and we'll get its output. Let's see. OK. So here's the output of our data. It is easy to run analysis in SPSS, but you need to learn how to interpret that output, which we get from SPSS. SPSS gives you huge amount of output, mostly more than you actually need. So let's see how to interpret this output. In the first table, SPSS gives the complete view of all the variables. This is gender count is 20, group count is 20, marks of students. Here total student is 20. Valid means these are total number of data in a data set. If we by chance miss some value, it will show here in missing column, but we have not missed any, so it is showing 0 here. For next frequency table, now it will give you variable wise view. First variable is gender. For gender, it is given a complete view. For female, frequency is 11. That means we have 11 female in our data. For male, it is 9. That means we have 9 male in our data. and total is 20. Here it is a column percent and valid percent. So we can report any of the column. It is same when there is no missing value, but in case there is missing value, these column will be different, percent and valid percent. In that case, if we have some missing value, we need to report to the column of valid percent. Next is group. Similarly, in control group, we have 10 students. So number count is 10, frequency is 10. For experimental, again, we have 10 and total we have 20. Percent and valid percent. Again, if we have missed some student, then we need to report to valid percent. Last is marks of students. Now you can see for gender and group it is okay. We got count. So how many students are there who are female, how many students are male, how many students are there in control group, how many students are there in experimental group. But for marks of students, we get this type of data, which is actually not making any sense for us. For this, we need to run another analysis. So we need not to go back again to our data. We can directly run analysis from the output window itself. Go to Analyze menu, click here, Descriptive Statistics, then Frequencies. We will move the gender to left and group to left, because we want to analyze marks of students only. We got number count for gender and group itself. A frequency table we don't want now, so we'll uncheck it because we already have a frequency table. Now click statistics. For the scale variable, we have number of options here. We can find mean, median, mode, anything. Normally we calculate mean for scale variables, for continuous variables, but if we have skewed data, in that case we calculate median. Now we can calculate anything. We can calculate quartiles, we can calculate standard deviation, minimum, maximum, range, variance, skewness. Skewness is the value which provides an indication of symmetry of distribution, whereas kurtosis, which provides the information about the peakness of the distribution. So if we will get the value of skewness and kurtosis is 0, that means we have normal distribution. So here in this case we will find mean to make it simpler, and standard deviation, minimum value, maximum value. You can find range also if you want, and sum also. So continue and then OK. Now for this variable marks of students, we get this output. Mean marks of student is 35.60. Standard deviation is 8.586. Minimum value is 20 and maximum value is 49. That means minimum score which student has got is 20 out of 50 and maximum is 49 out of 50. We can find range or anything else also. So for nominal variables, we find out frequencies, and for scale variable, we found out mean. Now moving towards Analyze menu, again Descriptive Statistic, Frequencies. This time we will find chart. Again I'll put all the variables to right dialog box and I'll click charts here. For this, I'll click bar graph and then I'll click percentage and then continue. Okay. Now let's see bar graph. First, see for gender. We have a clear bar graph for gender. Female, percentage of female in dataset and percentage of male in our dataset. Again, for group, we have clear bar graph because number of students in control and experimental group is equal. That's why the bar graph is like this. It is showing for both the students who are in control group and who are in experimental group. Now move towards third variable, which is marks of students. So this bar graph is not making any sense. For scale variable, we need to go to histogram. We need histogram for continuous variable and we need bar graph for categorical variable. Here in our data set, gender and group is categorical variable. So we got clear-cut bar graph. But for scores of students, we need histogram. So again, we will go to Analyze menu, Descriptive Statistics, Frequencies, then Charts. Sorry, I need to remove gender and group from here because we already have bar graph for gender and group. Now I need only histogram for marks of students. Charts, this time histogram. I can also want normal curve on histogram, so click this for normal curve on histogram. You can see this is not activated now because we don't need it. Continue. Okay. See a beautiful histogram I got for our continuous variable. And also this histogram is showing this normal curve. From here we can see mean is 35.6, standard deviation is 8.586 and total number of student N is 20. So finally, the rules to remember: for nominal scale variable, we need frequencies and bar charts. For scale variable, for continuous variable, we need mean and standard deviation and histogram. I also discussed the same thing in my video, when to use which descriptive statistics. For detail, you can refer that video. Link is given in the description below. Finally, for the continuous variable, it is easy to use the option of descriptive statistics, which is here in the Analyze menu, Descriptive Statistics, and the second option. If we have continuous variable, it is easy to use this option. But for categorical variables, you should use frequencies. In the next video, I'll tell you how to analyze through Descriptive Analyze menu and how to get its detail from Explore. That's all with today's video. Please like, share and subscribe to Dr. Sumit Bakshi. Thank you.